That was a really good win against a really good basketball team. Mark's done a tremendous job. I enjoyed our preparation. I enjoyed watching, his team play, the way they've played, the way they've competed. Out of respect for Vanderbilt and their coaching staff and the way they do things, you could tell that we were ready. You could tell that this game had all of our focus, and got off to a great start. We stopped guarding a little bit there in the first half, and that was an issue. Our identity, and one of the things that got us off to such a good start, I think, this year was we really started to take pride on how we would guard and get stops, turn people over. It's a long season. It's a grind, and I think that we've lost a little bit of that edge. We got to try to get that edge back a little bit. Took good care of the ball. They turned you over 15 times. We only turned it over 8, only 2 in the second half. Denver was brilliant in the first half, carrying us. Great bounce-back game after the Florida game where he didn't shoot it very well. He's a scorer, and even though he's handling the ball, he needs to score. Chaney Johnson was rewarded as our hardest worker. He is our hardest worker. All those moves down there at the basket, nobody is in the gym more than Chaney Johnson, working on those moves, perfecting those moves. And he obviously had an advantage on the inside and took full advantage, 9 for 10. That's hard to do. So I think overall it was a good effort and a great win.
Raise your hand, hope, and then
Can you describe that stretch where Chaney goes on a 9-0 run? You have the Auburn fans in attendance being loud, and that seemed like a separating point in the game there.
Well, it's the Auburn family obviously travels. Nashville's been pretty good to us the last several years, and when you play that well, we rewarded them. Mike Burgomaster did a great job. Kept going to the well. Fed the hot hand in there. Took advantage of that matchup. Stephen Pearl had the scout, did a phenomenal preparation on a short prep, because we just got done in Florida on Saturday and not very long to get ready and traveling, and Coach Pearl had him down.
Coach, before the start of last year, you mentioned that you thought Chaney Johnson was a guy coming out of D2 that could develop into one of the better players in this league. What do you have to say on his overall development since he's been here at Auburn, and how close do you think he is to that point now? Obviously, you mentioned the 9-0 run today, a 20-point game. Can you just speak to his performance?
Yeah, again, Chaney's our hardest worker. You watched film last year, Chaney, and you see some moments, but you don't even recognize him because he's twice the man he was. He and Coach Damon Davis, our strength coach, put the work in. Our nutritionist, Emily, like that body, he is one of the best athletes in this league. He's powerful, he's quick, he's explosive, and he's got a really good touch. He can shoot it from the perimeter. I'm telling you, Chaney can really shoot it. I got to do a better job of getting him some looks on the outside, which will even help open up his game even more. But I thought our front line of Janai and Dylan and Chaney were really, really, really good. And being a Division II player a couple years ago is a great story about it's not where you start, it's where you finish.
Eichen and Ferg, and then the gentleman in the back.
You had Chris starting tonight in place of
Chad.
Place with Chad.
Yep.
He started both halves with
Yep.
scores for you guys. Was that more of like a matchup thing, or was it really about the injury for Chad?
Chad is just flat out banged up and has been limited in practice because of just not being able to get reps. He gets bounced around pretty good out there, all of 180 pounds. And so I was glad he was able to go. He played great defense in the second half and passed the ball really well too. So we just got to get him a little rest and get him healthy.
Bruce, in the end, I know coaches hate saying this. Was the loss Saturday, is it going to end up being something good for y'all?
It's a classic. You think so, but I honestly don't think it had any. I don't think it had any effect. I thought Florida beat us. I thought Florida was better. I thought the guard was the best guard on the floor. I thought their front line was more active, bouncier. I thought Florida was better. Now we may see them again down the road, but that's a Final Four team. So I don't think it was like, well, I even had some. Well, I'm glad we got that loss out of the way now. Like, what are you talking about? Have you seen our schedule? Like, believe me, tonight, you guys wouldn't have been shocked if we lost tonight, would you have? No. That's a good team. And the season it is a grind. It's a grind. And it's just about taking it one game at a time. So far, this team has done a pretty good job of taking it one at a time, and we've learned a lot from our wins. So Florida beat us because they were better.
Ferg and then the gentleman next to you.
Yeah, Bruce, you said Saturday after the game that you weren't worried about Denver at all. He comes right out and starts banging in shots early on. Just how much did you enjoy seeing him bounce back that quickly?
Oh, I just loved it for Denver. I loved it for him because he gives up so much of himself defensively. And, that was important. Stephen Pearl in Denver had some time together this week. And Stephen said, look, you are a scorer that we have playing point guard. And go score. Score, that's what you do. You don't have to be a great passer, be a solid passer, but score the ball. And he did.
Yeah, Bruce, you talk about the job that Mark has done here at Vanderbilt. Just how impressive do you think it's been, given that he had to rebuild the whole roster in his first year, and he's coming into this league right now?
Yeah, I mean, it's an unbelievable league. He is in the upper half of our coaches as far as what kind of a coach he is. Offensively, he's got a great mind. I also think, and he's hired a really good staff. I also think they're committed. They're committed in the NIL space and to go out there and get that roster. And so, look, if you're not committed in that area, you're not going to survive in this league. So I think what Mark's done, his staff has done, the kids have done, the commitment that Vanderbilt has made to men's basketball and to Mark in this program, you're seeing the results. It's worth it. It's worth it to invest in your players like that, beat Kentucky and beat Tennessee. How big was that? Big.
Ferg, the last one.
Yeah, Bruce, the defense and the rebounding the last probably 8 minutes, it was a really big turnaround for you guys from where it was in the middle of the game. Just how much did you see your guys respond and really take some responsibility for that?
I'll look at it on tape. I thought obviously we got some stops. I thought they did a good job of communicating. And don't forget, one of the toughest things about being on both ends, if you ever want to know the truth, it's the second half where we can't help our defense. And Mark's got his offense in front of him. They've got some real advantage. They took advantage of the on-basket out of bounds play, got us a couple times. And so the fact that we were able to guard them away from our bench was good.
Thanks, Ferg.
Okay.
Thanks, VP.